to Smash Writing. I am your host today, Paul. And this is your other host, Justin. And today, we are continuing our trip down the Conjuring series. There has been some tough moments. There's been some good moments. There's been some bad moments. And why is Justin being distracted? So, today we're reviewing Annabelle. Now, Annabelle was a film that oh God, he's writing something and I'm just disturbed by it. Folks, I don't know what he's doing. He's disturbing me. Oh God, he's still writing, guys. He is still writing. We're trying to be professionals here and review this film. And this is one of Justin's favorite movies. He loves this film, guys. He really does. Oh God. God. What are you doing? I'm reading that. What did you write? Silent review, I have nothing to say about this movie. It was just... What? Fine?
It's just fine.
You was not impressed by it.
No, I wasn't disappointed. I think it's because I followed, I watched Conjuring 3, which, yeah. And then I watched Annabelle, and Annabelle was so vanilla in comparison to what I'd seen before. It was just fine. It's a demonic doll. They just painted by the numbers here.
The thing is, so let's.
I think Annabelle's overrated. I think the doll is ugly.
Well,
I think the real doll is much more terrifying looking than
the real doll is like really.
The doll that is possessed in real life. That doll is creepy shit. But for some reason they went with like a porcelain model.
And it was not. I mean, you can tell it was a movie shocker value thing, but so here's the story that Annabelle. So we know from the very first Conjuring series that Annabelle was supposedly possessed.
Yeah, it was like a ritual by the woman Annabelle.
But in the...
Was it the woman... What was in the doll?
What do you mean what was
Did she do a ritual to put a demon in the doll, or did she put her soul into the doll?
I think she basically put...
A demon into it. It had to be a demon.
Yeah, it was the demon. But see, this is where movies, when they want to produce sequels and prequels and spin-offs, is that they need somebody in charge of keeping all the facts together. So in the first Conjuring, they make it clear that there was never an Annabelle, which turns out to be false. There was an Annabelle. There's actually multiple Annabelles that came across this doll. Another thing that they got wrong was that...
I'm not to leave it up to you. I've already forgotten most of the Conjuring movies.
Yeah.
I've purged them out of my head with good movies like Werewolf Within. Go watch it if you haven't. It's a good movie.
It's been a week now. Come on, guys. Get on it. Another thing that they backtracked on was Ed and Lorraine said that, there was, no human involved. I said no Annabelle. Everything that the first movie said about that 5 minutes of Annabelle turned out to be completely wrong.
Well, I don't know. Like, if the woman Annabelle put a demon into the thing, then they're not wrong. It's a demon inside the body. And the demon takes control of the doll, wanting a soul.
Yes, it's something to do with the wanting a soul.
Soul.
Because the cult promised the devil a soul, the demon a soul, and because the doll is associated with the demon now follows the ones who owns the doll.
Yeah.
Because it needs a soul, because that was the deal from the cult people.
This is while this is going on, you had the Charles Manson, the family arrest, and the fear of occultism is sky high in the movie.
Right. So this film takes place in the 70s, I believe.
Yeah.
Like for the time. So which was about, I think it was like 5 years before the events of Conjuring 1 or something like that.
Okay. I don't know.
There's a small gap. So
yeah, the demon and the doll.
You have the demon and the doll haunting this family as the family's trying, to move on because they had a baby. The events of the beginning of the film is haunting them. So
from being attacked by the cult group, almost losing the baby.
When it was their next door neighbors, all of that. So they move on to go and have a new life. While obviously with the doll being kept by the husband because he bought the doll for his wife to complete a collection.
I remember it was just a collection.
Yeah.
And she kept the doll as like a reminder of the bad times in the past and to start over kind of deal.
Right.
And the doll is possessed by this demon who wants the kid's soul because that was the deal. Soul for soul, kid's soul. But it'll take any soul, so at the end you see as this woman's being tortured by everything. She's going to throw herself off the balcony, but her friend ends up doing it to placate the demon. Which shouldn't that mean the demon leaves the doll?
Yeah, it would pretty much means the devil.
The deal was complete and the demon has moved on.
Because it had to be suicide or because you got to give a soul.
Yeah.
Which when we get into the other two films, one's a prequel to that Annabelle film, but then the final Annabelle film...
It was a sequel and revolves around the idiot's children and...
It's after effects. So, once again, you don't have nobody in charge of keeping facts. I think, anytime a movie series...
Well, I don't know if it's... It's sequel money, that's why they needed to keep going. How are you doing a prequel, though? How did they do the prequel?
The Annabelle creations...
well, I'm sure I'll see it, but...
Yeah, because that's the next series.
Didn't we see the origin here?
No, because...
Of course we didn't. Of course we didn't.
The next...
I hate this series. I hate the entire Conjuring series. I mean, I gave them good grades. Because they were well put together. They had good moments and the atmosphere was good and they deserved the grade they got. But God, these are just... The hype around the Conjuring universe has never hit the mark. And the fact that this movie is just fine. It's just fine. There's not much to actually say about it. The acting was alright. Annabelle Wallis and Ward Horton was alright as Mia and John. Alfred Woodard as Evelyn was okay. It was just a fine movie. I wish there was something I could say about it, like, oh, there's so much hype around this, or this was so disappointing. But it wasn't. It wasn't even like it had the flaws that the Conjuring universe had. It was just okay.
I'm all about the numbers, and this. When I first seen this movie back when it came out in 24, I didn't see it in theaters, but I owned it. When it first came out, I bashed it because one of the most cheesiest things about the film I thought was when you see the demon for all of 30 seconds. The demon literally looked like somebody's 2-year-old came in with a blue crayon and colored a demon.
Well, it's not like the demon in Conjuring 2 looked any good when you saw it outside of the nun.
Right. So they went very poorly on the demon, I thought. When I seen how much movie it made off of its budget, I thought it did probably come off. It did gain.
Oh, the Annabelle movies have always made money.
Yeah, they always made, but for me, this first one that we're talking about, I think it probably got most of its money from Conjuring 1.
Well, these movies have always made money based off the back of Conjuring.
But this one, the hype was still in with the first film.
Again, all three of these Annabelle movies made a ton of money. I don't know why. Maybe the other two are better.
That's what I see.
But
I didn't see the third one.
Conjuring is supposed to be good. Conjuring 2. We've done our review on these two. You can check out what I thought of the steaming pile of stupid The Conjuring 3 was. None of these movies, like, the Annabelle actually is the best one almost by proxy because it was just... Okay.
Basically saying Annabelle was an average horror film.
In a sub-average movie
series,
yeah. Like, again, I scored Conjuring 1 and Conjuring 2 high because they at least had the good atmosphere going for them, and The Nun was okay.
I thought The Nun was more of a letdown over the hype.
No, I'm talking about the Nun character.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we did the movie Nun already, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't good either. But like all those other movies have like major problems and major issues. You can check back on the review on them and see what I thought about them. This is the only one. It's like it just happened. There was nothing outrageously like wrong here or here. It was a coherent little story inside of a world. Then you ended it with the demon still in the doll for sequel reasons.
Pretty much. I mean,
it's by the books. It's
they
vanilla,
solved the story. But
I think like when she got like stabbed in the stomach, it's like like again like wow, they actually stabbed her in the belly. Like you get like that shock factor going, and like that worked well. I thought that scene worked really well. Like for what they were going for, like that horrifying imagery.
And I said, my biggest problem was just how, in my opinion, how cheesy the demon looked.
Yeah, no. Conjuring had never pulled out a good demon.
Maybe so, but I thought this particular one was the worst of them all.
Was it worse than the Nun reveal in Conjuring 2? When it showed the demon out of the nun? Because that looked pretty bad too.
I don't know if it...
It got saved because of how cool the nun looked.
True. This one,
the
there was
doll
no...
looked like ass. So maybe that's what made it worse for you?
Maybe. I don't know if it was like worse or just cheesy. Like, I really can't describe how I feel about the demon in this film when you see him. Is that it just looked like a cartoon version of what a demon in a movie should look like. And that was one of my biggest knocks. The two biggest knocks that I had was the backtracking on the story. Now, if you want to say, hey, Ed and Lorraine was not perfect, they can see missed signs, that's fine. You can go with that, but the selling point...
Well, Ed and Lorraine was... No, I'm not going to get back on that topic. We're not talking about the Lorraines here. The Warrens, I mean.
Yeah. But, I mean, this film, for me, didn't really...
This movie, like, it's a vanilla movie. Maybe I would have found more if I didn't watch it, like, back-to-back with Conjuring 3, and, like, even, like, I was texting Paul during that, and I'm like, oh, what kind of mood was I in during that movie?
Fucking sucks.
10 minutes in, I'm like, why am I watching this? Why did I choose to do this series?
Yeah, I was at work when you started watching this one, and you just text me like non-stop of instant regrets.
It was my idea to
wait till next month. Like, you're going to see the miserable side of Justin.
Yeah, the next recording's coming up. We're banging out the rest of them because I gotta get out of this fucking world. We're gonna be doing creations. Annabelle takes a fucking walk in the summer. La Lenora. I got it. I knew I'd get it eventually. La Lenora. It is part of that Conjuring universe because we talked about it off camera. La Lenora is part of the Conjuring universe, if they want to admit it or not.
It's under all the official guides as being part of it. So, let's grade Annabelle.
C+.
C+.
Average movie. It's an average movie. Don't have to watch it. You can skip it entirely and it means nothing. I mean, maybe they'll tie in during a prequel or sequel. I doubt it. Who cares?
I'm going to have to go with Justin. This film, to me, is probably average. If it was a standalone film, it
Yeah, I have no positives, except for like the horrifying image of her getting stabbed in the pregnant belly.
Yeah.
And I have no negatives. It's just a movie, just vanilla as it comes.
I thought they made this film overhyped. Like
No.
I said, in its heyday,
The Conjuring is overhyped.
maybe so, but this one was really, really hyped, and I was disappointed.
Don't say that. You love the Conjuring universe. I know you do.
I thought one was the peak. Obviously,
See, I think just like right now, I haven't watched the other two Annabelles or La Lenora yet, and like Annabelle and Conjuring 2 are like Conjuring 2 is the better directed movie, but you had stupid shit in that movie too. So would Annabelle actually make it above it, despite the grade difference, just because at least it wasn't dumb?
see, I just think like the backstories and we all know Hollywood's going to make money, and that's why they do it.
No, the Conjuring universe does make money. I know why they keep going, because people keep going.
Even in the and good news is the pandemic, in the sense of lockdowns, are over. We know it's still going strong, and God bless everybody who's doing what they need to do. But even The Devil Part 3, Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, has made a lot of money for the pandemic era. So these movies are going strong there. I do know they confirmed the fourth one already.
What?
Yeah,
What fourth one?
Conjuring 4.
Oh, I thought we were done. I thought 3 was it.
No! You still got like the 90s events? Come on now.
No, I thought we were done.
It's still going.
Oh,
I do think this was an average
keep
film.
going like a stroke. It won't stop.
I still think this was an average film. It like just said, there's nothing that really jumped out in a good way. It was just there. And that's how I do feel about it. They took a small character that was probably never supposed to be this big and just ran with it.
And kept going.
And
stop.
The fact that they made a trilogy out of this one, it's crazy. But
you're saying trilogy now, we're probably going to get a fourth for this too. It's a creepy doll. It outsold Child's Play. They came out the same month, and Annabelle did better.
I'm disappointed by that.
Yeah, like no, what's wrong with you? Like, the Child's Play remake was better than what you gave credit for. It's better than Annabelle.
Well,
the doll looked better.
I
said it.
This film, I think,
animatronic Chucky was better than Annabelle.
This film is just average. C for both of us. Now we're going to continue this march, and we're going to finish this series.
Painfully, just dragging my dead corpse across the finish line of this.
He is. The funny thing is, wasn't this your idea?
This was my idea.
This was his idea!
I didn't realize just how bad these movies got. Like all the hype around The Conjuring, it's like, it's such a great horror series. It's fantastic. You're entitled to your opinion. No, this is not good.
Until next time, guys.